Okay, so let's move on to
Let's do that.
Popcorn and Pop Stars. This is the part of the podcast where we talk about where the diva was at this point in her career when she made the album and why she did it. I could do that really quickly right now. Where is she in this moment? It's currently happening at the time of recording this. It's 2021. Next question. Why'd she do this album? Divorce, babe, divorce. Next. Okay, next segment. See, I told you it was gonna go fast.
Divorce babes.
Divorce, babes, divorce. Okay. Spill the Technicolor tea. This is the part of the podcast where we talk about some, huge talking points of the era. Maybe a bit controversial, maybe a bit gossipy, but like what is the hot topic surrounding the era? So I want to start and say, let's talk about a little bit this Zane Lowe interview she did. A lot of people have watched it, I'm sure. I just want to ask you, what was your favorite part of their conversation?
Oh, that's a good question.
I know it is.
You said that's why I asked.
Yeah, that's why it's highlighted in green right now.
Oh, My Little Love, the conversation around My Little Love. Anytime she was just talking about her depression and like talking about how to get through it, or her friends being like, girl, get up off the ground. Like, my husband died. Get up off the ground. You know, just hearing her like being honest about her mental health.
Yeah.
It's very, very comforting to me.
Yeah. No, totally. I feel like when you watch a lot of her interviews, but then again, like for me, I haven't really watched all the interviews from her previous era, but it seems like, at least for me, Adele as a person is like actively working on herself, and it shows up in the way she talks about herself in these interviews and like in the music that she's making, like a lot of like self-awareness and like emotional growth and maturity and therapy. Like those are like themes that come up when she is being interviewed.
Right.
For me, my favorite bit of the interview is when she's talking about like the TikTok. She doesn't make music for the TikTok.
Yeah.
And I just like I really love that, because it goes to show that like she doesn't care about catering to a young audience, and the music industry, the entertainment industry in general, but like the music industry especially, is so ageist, and they're always trying to think about like, how can we cater to a young audience? Like, I'm sure when we were growing up, it was like the MTV, the TRL audience, but now it's like, how do we cater to like the TikTok audience, where people only really know like what 15-20 seconds of a song and that's it. And Adele was like, no, I don't want to make music for them. I want to make music for people in their 30s and 40s. And I'm sure I don't care about the TikTok kids. Like, the TikTok kids have moms. Their moms listen to my music. Like, I love that. And it just goes to show like what she knows, who she is as an artist, and she knows what kind of people gravitate towards her music. And there's like I like that she as an artist respects the intelligence and maturity of her audience. She's like not into playing the industry game. So that was my favorite part of that Zane Lowe interview.
I agree, but I also think it speaks to the limited outlets that artists have, because when we talk about the 90s, specifically in the early 2000s, we had several different avenues to get music. If you weren't a hip hop head, there was VH1. If you were like more on the rock side or the country side, you had VH1 with Jumpstart in the morning. There was like 2 hours solid block.
Jumpstart. Oh my God. When they show like the random people jumping. And I'm like, what is happening?
You had that. If you want more pop, then you had pop-up videos or TRL.
Yeah.
There was like so many different avenues. Even on BET, there was like the soul section, like in the 90s, and then where they brought jazz artists out. Like, we just had so many different avenues.
And those networks actually played music. Like, now VH1 and MTV, they don't play music anymore.
They don't play music. It's ridiculousness for 24 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now the biggest medium to get music is TikTok, honestly.
Right.
Which is sad because yes, you're only getting 15, 20 seconds of it. Whereas before we were getting full music videos,
Right.
full, a music video was an event. So when you're an artist who grew up in that era and even started releasing music before the internet craze, because remember, guys, Adele is not a new artist. She came
She's been
out in
out
like
here.
2008, 2009.
Yeah, VH1
2009.
artist, you ought to know.
So she moves differently. And I think it's seen as rebellious now because the industry has changed so much. But she is just doing what we're accustomed for artists to do,
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good point. Yeah. I think that's why for me I find her so interesting because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are like, "Oh my god, Adele is making waves." Like how she is really making a statement demanding that her album be played in track listing order. It's like,
Right.
what? Or like people being like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe like Adele, like just like even like the rollout of this era
Mm-hmm.
feels so like traditional
Traditional.
in the sense of
Yeah.
like I'm gonna do this like big sit down like interview with like an Oprah and do a concert special here in the US and over there in the UK. She'll like do these like, like the trendy YouTube videos, but they're
Yeah.
not like Adele tries like I don't even know, like she plays with slime. It's not like that. Like
Yeah.
it's like the more like established, like 73
Yeah.
questions, like
Right.
that
Right.
sort of thing. But it's like it feels there's something very traditional about her as an artist and
Yeah.
her music that it makes her interesting in this like social media internet
Mm-hmm.
like culture that's so driven by like wanting to satisfy the algorithm, needing to
Right.
pump out all of these songs where they're just like so short. People don't
Yeah.
really care about albums anymore. Like she's just so like, yeah, it's interesting. She's traditional, but
Mm-hmm.
because she's traditional, that makes her interesting in this like contemporary
Right.
time.
I mean, it's like interesting when we talk about artists like her. I would put Beyonce in that category.
The
Category.
last, are we having the last of a dying breed conversation right now? Because it feels like
I
that.
mean, if you want to segue
Okay.
into that, let's do that.
Okay, well, in there was an interview that she did with Q's Tom Power where Adele talks about this concept of last of a dying breed, and she says that artists like herself and Drake, who saw success before the streaming era, are a dying breed. I'm gonna put in the quote in the Spotify version of this, but she says there was like 10 of us. I don't think there will ever be that many of us again at the top doing it the way we were doing it. So what are your thoughts on that last of a dying breed concept?
She's absolutely right.
Yeah. I
Um,
love her self-awareness.
oh yeah. I
I
I don't
know
understand why
even though
people were
she
so
says like
upset.
even though she says like she doesn't like being famous, which I totally respect, I think Adele is so self-aware and smart about the way
Oh
she
yeah,
navigates the music industry.
absolutely. And I was caught off guard when people on Twitter were upset that she said that. It's like, well, what about all these other artists? And I'm like, there's no artists out right now. I mean, the closest that is there's like two artists, Chloe and Halle, Cardi B, that give traditional rollout vibes for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Um, like when Ungodly Hour released and they were like actually doing the interviews
But
and
again, you have to remember who are they signed with? It's
Beyonce.
Beyonce. And Beyonce is so of that. She's part of that last of a dying breed.
Exactly. But also the interesting conversation around it is, like we said before, how uh, revolutionary they seem to be because of this era, but they're not.
They're not.
And that's a frustrating conversation as a fan of music. Like when I hear people say, oh, Beyonce is the first to do X, Y, and Z, like when Homecoming came out and
Mm.
the doc came out and people were like, we've never seen an artist do a doc like this. And I'm like,
I'm like,
behind the scenes
there's literally a VH1 and
of
MTV
Michael,
used to do so many
so
concerts
many.
behind the scenes way back in the day, and there's a lot of other artists from like the 80s and the 90s that were doing like concert docs. Like, I mean, Madonna
this
did
is it.
a concert doc. Like,
This is it. Janet, like,
yeah.
So when you don't understand the history and don't understand like what their inspirations are, it does seem revolutionary in this time. But so it's like a cool thing, but a frustrating thing.
Yeah.
Because then the narrative is being rewritten and it's almost excluding all these other artists that really set the blueprint, you know? But I want more artists to go traditional. I want CDs to come back. I want physical albums to come back in full swing. Like, I want all of it. Bring back the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, I think physical copies of things are kind of making a comeback, but I think that's more of like a I don't want to say like an aesthetic thing, but it's more of like for people to be like, see, look, it's like so cool that I like collect like tangible
Right.
music. But I agree. Like, I just think if you kind of like, if like with Adele kind of like ushering or like bringing back sort of this like more traditional rollout, I just feel like you really appreciate the era as a music fan, and it just like feels so like definitive. Like, this is, it's like we're in it right now and it's great and she's everywhere, and then when it's over, she goes away and that's it. Like, I don't like again, like I was saying earlier, like I feel like when you're constantly bombarded with music all the time, the value of it kind of lessens.
Yeah.
You know, because it's sort of like, oh well, that it's there all the time. Oh, they just released a new album. Well, didn't they just release one a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago? That sort of thing. Yeah. But it's like when Adele comes back, it's like she's been gone for 6 years. Wow, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and like you said, it's the structure of everything. She comes back, she gives us a date of exactly when she's coming. She's probably going to give us like a little teaser. That's all we're going to get. She's going to perform. Back in the day, when you came out and you had a big album, you sat with Oprah. She's giving us that Oprah interview.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
She's doing like
the traditional steps.
Everything that we used to love about the legends of before.
Yeah.
And same thing with Beyonce again. Even though I would put Drake, Rihanna, probably Bruno Mars.
Would you put Lady Gaga in that?
I would put Lady Gaga. Yeah,
I think she kind of like, again, it was like late 2000s, early 2010s when she came out.
So then, question:
I wonder who she thinks of, like the 10. Who are her 10?
I was about to say, who is your 10 that you think she's thinking of?
Because then I'm like, okay, like when she's saying like there were like 10 of us, I'm wondering like specifically what era are you thinking of? Because like I think Beyonce is part of that last of a dying breed conversation, but Beyonce was out before Adele.
But still, like, solo Beyonce was like, she came out in 2004, but she was blowing up as Beyonce when Single Ladies dropped. That was in 2008.
Like, right. Okay. So I wonder if like, is she thinking of that particular? Okay. So I think Beyonce is part of that. I mean, I guess if Adele puts Drake there, if Drake takes up a slot.
Yeah, he was out at that time.
Yeah.
He came out around 2005.
And that's by her putting in Drake, that's making me think that she's not just thinking of like, you know, the tradition, like she's expanding to like other genres, like, you know,
absolutely,
like hip hop. So then that makes me think she's probably going to put Kanye West in there.
Yes. Okay. I can see Kanye.
Like, I'm thinking of like artists, like when they come out,
it's like,
a thing. Yeah, like it's a thing. It's a thing.
Okay.
Gosh.
Would you?
Lady Gaga, I'm putting
for
there for, even though like Lady Gaga is one of those people that like kind of lingers in and out. But I think it's because like she's just in the movie right now, or like
I think she gives very much Diana Ross.
Yeah, she just does it all, sort of thing.
Yeah. This might be controversial, but would you put Taylor Swift in that category.
I was gonna say, because like again, Taylor Swift was like coming out during that era, and she was popping off during that time, and she is like, you know, major artist when she does something. But then but I think Taylor Swift is a bit, even though she does like big event things, I think what makes her different from Adele slightly, and maybe this more speaks to the fact that her fans tend to skew younger, is she's always pumping out like,
that's true,
you know, and
that's true,
but it's not even like she's pumping up like a random single. Like this girl is like literally coming out with like 2 albums in the same year, sort of thing. I think she's kind of like adjusting to the time, whereas like Adele's like, no.
Yeah, but
I would put Taylor in that.
Rihanna I would
yeah,
definitely put in that, even though she was one of those artists before this was even popular, pumping out 2 albums a year for like 5-6 years straight.
But because I think like the thing too is like you have to think like when the artists we're listing right now, like they managed to be big prior to this, like the window that opened when social media became a thing.
Right.
Because as soon as social media became a thing, that's when people's like strategies started to change, obviously.
That's true.
But these artists that we're listing right now, they managed to be big in a more traditional music social landscape, and they can still retain their like stardom even right now. So
Bruno Mars.
Okay, Bruno. As well. Yeah, he's kind of more traditional too. Like even if you look at like his albums, they're short. They're not like 20 plus random songs.
And this is a side note conversation, but somebody brought that up on Twitter. They said, you know, we love concise like 9-10 track albums.
I love a concise
And then I was
album.
like, but if you know how to make a 20 plus track record, like a Janet, where it feels cohesive, please do that as well. I love those. Or like a Janelle Monáe can drop a 18 track record, and you know she's got her whole little vibe going, Dirty Computer and stuff like that.
Right. Oh, Dirty Computer. Yeah.
Such a classic album. Yes.
But the problem is like people overestimate that they think they have that ability when really
that part. That because if you're gonna make vibe music for 18 tracks, sis, please.
Because like that's like because when you think of like a Janet or Janelle Monáe, like even though their albums are long, it's still like a dynamic list. They don't give you the same vibe throughout every single song.
At all. And I would I put her? She came out in 2010, 2009, 2010. Janelle Monáe. She's not as popular, but she's very much traditional artist in the sense where she's going to drop an album, get you the videos, she disappears. 4 years later, she's going to drop an album, you know.
I think like Janelle Monáe follows the behavior archetypes of the traditional artist in that sense, but I don't think her appeal is like is like as like she doesn't have as big of an impact. She should like I think genuinely more people should be aware of Janelle Monáe, like Dirty Computer. Wow, what an album. It's amazing. But you know, doesn't like she's not like a Beyonce.
Right, exactly.
Where like Beyonce is like mainstream huge sort of thing, or like a Drake or a Kanye, or even the like
superstars.
Like the superstars,
the enigmas.
Yeah.
I hear
you.
Okay,
so who do we have? Okay, so we have Adele. Are you writing this down?
I am literally writing this down. So we have Adele, Beyonce, Kanye, Drake, Gaga, Bruno.
Taylor Swift. Did you put Rihanna in there?
I did not put Rihanna.
I think we should add Rihanna because honestly, like she's like I would say last of a dying breed, like she really feels like a star.
Yeah.
Not like a random person.
We're at 8.
Oh gosh, okay, 2 more.
The last 2. Would we consider
what, even Katy
though
Perry?
she's not I was about to say Katy Perry, even though
I
she's
feel
not
like
popular.
honestly, like I kind of feel like I don't know, maybe because like when I was in high school, Katy Perry was poppin'.
She was
She
huge.
was huge. Like I think people really like give Katy Perry so much unnecessary shit. They're like, oh, Katy flop, Katy
Mm,
flops. Like, no,
Uh,
Katy, like not every album has to be this. I think it's because Teenage Dream was such a huge
teenage.
album that people
Listen.
like think she has to hit Teenage Dream every single time. Put respect on Catherine's name. I like Katy Perry, and all those people that were giving Katy Perry. This is like a Katy Perry in defense of Katy Perry segment right now. All those people that were giving Katy Perry shit for her
Oh
Super Bowl
my
halftime
gosh.
show. I loved Katy Perry's Super Bowl halftime show. I thought that was so Katy Perry-esque of her. F you if you think that was it was not good. It was very Katy Perry.
I
Put
will
respect on
say
Catherine's name. I think Katy Perry's kind of a little bit musically lost right now,
she is. Oh, absolutely, she is.
but I
But
think she is kind of that in that dying last of a dying breed era. Like when you think of that era of music, like the late 2000s, early mid 2010s, Katy Perry
right,
was huge during that time.
I'm putting Katy on the list. So
Catherine, you made the list. Fuck
we're
Russell
at
Brand.
not. We are at 9. 3, 4, 5,
God,
6, 7, 8, 9.
I don't know who's in that last slot when I think of that era of music.
I'm trying to think. A big pop star? Would it be? Would it be Chris Brown?
No. No, we're not putting him on the same list as Adele, Lori Blue, and Beyonce, Giselle Knowles. And no,
He said that with the quickness.
no, I think he had the potential until
He
he
did.
really effed it
He
up.
fucked that up. Yeah.
You know what? When I knew, I was like, oh, Chris Brown is when he got that double mint commercial. You remember when Chris
Oh
Brown had
yeah.
the double mint
Oh
commercial
yeah.
and he was like dating Rihanna and he had that amazing VMA performance and
And then everything. Yeah.
bye.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
not
Okay.
on the
That's
list.
fair.
Not on
That's
at least
fair.
not on the Diva Dailies list.
That's fair. Okay.
It's
Trying to
hard for
think.
me to think though, because this feels very female heavy and this was not intentional. I don't know. I feel
Is
I don't
it?
know. I feel
Where
like
we
there are
have
more women on this list than guys.
there they are. Yeah. We have three dudes on this list, but we
I
also gotta remember most of the men who were super popular
were
at the
they like part of
time,
bands
either part of bands,
or more hip hop?
rappers,
Yeah,
hip hoppers. Wow, Angie.
you know the hip
Uh
hoppers.
the hip hoppers, hip hop artists who came out pre 2009, like Kanye, Jay-Z,
Yeah,
like they're seasoned, or it was R&B artists who are like on their last leg, but still huge. Mariah, Usher,
yeah, yeah,
not to
yeah,
say
yeah,
Mariah's on her last leg, but like,
yeah.
you know what I'm
Lambs are
saying?
like.
I know, right? Sorry, guys. um, but they're like well-seasoned artists who are like
Yeah,
who've been in the industry for Janet, you
yeah.
know. So Justin Timberlake,
Okay.
that dude,
Would you put Justin Timberlake as part of the last of a dying breed?
he should be on this list.
He
Do
should
I
technically
want
be on this list.
do I want him on? No.
Like technically he should be
Okay.
on this list. And that kind of rounds out
Well,
the 10.
mm, okay. I know Beyonce made this list because she got super popular 2008-ish. Justin got solo popular in 2002.
But I feel like when Sexy Back came again in 2006, that really
2006.
pushed him. And then there was
True.
another what was it?
Then there was
Like Suit and Tie, like that whole.
but Suit and Tie was like 2000, like did he
But was
fall
that
off?
later?
I think Suit and Tie was like
I don't really know
2009
Justin
or
Timberlake's
2010.
discography that
Lord.
well.
The day
Justin.
has come where we're Googling Justin Timberlake. um
Okay.
Wikipedia, where are you? There's like Why is this Wikipedia so far down? On page 2. It's on page 2.
Okay.
This
Well,
wiki is
you know
so...
why we're kind of a little lost is because in 2008 2012, that's when he started focusing more on his acting. Because that's when he did Social Network.
I see.
And then the 2020 Experience comes out in 2013, like that 2012. Yeah, in 2012. You know, I'm gonna say Justin Timberlake honestly does deserve to be on that list because he is sort of a...
That's fair.
Yeah, I would put him in there.
Okay, so that's... I can't really think of...
Because I genuinely, like, I can't think of anyone else.
Right. Bruno. Who do you think would be...
The new
of course,
breed?
it's the new breed, but it's like similar to this old class.
Oh,
like older
similar
class.
to this older class.
Like has the traditional format, but isn't this the new class?
Okay. Lil Nas X.
Oh yes.
He really understands. He understands what an album rollout is.
Yes.
I think Billie Eilish.
Okay, yeah.
It's like,
she has the potential.
Yeah. Yes. I think Chloe and Halle, they understand the rollout. I think I
will put Cardi B in there. For sure.
Okay. Harry Styles.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Harry Styles. I think honestly, I know she's new, but like I don't know, it's like her and her team, but Olivia Rodrigo.
I was about to say her. If Normani had come out with an album,
I think she has the potential, but I don't like, they're not getting it together.
Where's the music? That's what we need. This is the music industry. Like,
yeah,
we need the music.
That's the thing. Someone tweeted out the other day. It was so shady. Like, someone tweeted like, "Oh, Normani has referenced Kelly Rowland as like a huge musical influence," and then someone quote tweeted it that with "No wonder why she's lost," or "No wonder why she's confused." Those are not my words, people of the internet. That is something that I saw on Twitter.
And can I just say, Kelly, she was dropping really good solo projects.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
The thing is, and this is like, since I've become like a Spice Girl stan, I'm becoming more aware of like the different countries, like musical, like, systems there. I think Kelly was actually more successful in Europe,
in the
UK, and that's why her ass was doing like what is that, the X Factor over there. Yes. And like that's why she was really over there doing all those TV appearances and doing like, she kind of was actually the one that started to usher that back in.
Oh yeah,
Kelly Rowland and David Guetta. When love takes over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
First of all, Simply Deep is that girl. Her first album, her first solo album is that girl. Her second album, Whole Ass Bop. But when she started getting into her Europop phase,
I love when Kelly Rowland does like dance pop music. Like when she did the
finally yes
with Amorphous.
Yes. She could literally bring back
come out with like an album of
a
like
whole
that
disco record.
Yeah.
She could come out with a whole
like a disco dance pop. And then like she could even style herself like a Donna Summer, because everyone always tells her that she looks like Donna Summer.
She does look like Donna
Hello,
Summer.
Hi, I'm your strategist here. We're strategizing at Diva Dailies Pod. Divas, if you're lost, we will give you suggestions for a fee, consultation fee.
Question. Oh no, I was about to say Sierra.
Sierra's like, see, that's another one of those like has the potential, but something's just not coming together. And also, I wouldn't put her in the same like age frame as like an Olivia Rodrigo, Lil Nas X, a Billie Eilish. Like,
I was talking about the Adele,
like
Beyonce, Drake.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, Ciara was really hot in the mid 2000s, like when she first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Goodies.
But then, also 1-2 step.
Yeah. Not you coming to the mic like that.
Let me see you. 1-2 step. But
But yeah,
yeah,
Normani, outside of Chloe and Halle and Cardi B, I'm gonna get to Cardi B in a second, but Normani, when she dropped, what was the one that she dropped? It was like a play
Motivation. Was it
mo-
Motivation?
motivation
And she was like doing the music video, and people were like,
and
"Oh my
the
god, Y2K, yeah, yeah,
yes,
oh yeah," and then like the basketball.
uh-huh,
Man,
yeah.
you had all of
Oh,
the steps there, girl, and then like
she
people were like,
had it.
"Where's the album?" And then it never came.
When I tell you, when that video dropped, I remember getting goosebumps because I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh, we're about to get an album era from like the new era. Oh, this
yeah,
is gonna be exciting. Oh, I'm
yeah.
excited." And then yeah, that shit
The ball literally dropped.
uh, never came. But Cardi B also understands the assignment.
Yeah.
She drops an album. She had the full album workup, and
Mm-hmm.
then she also has fashion, and that was a key thing for a lot of the
The
early
D
artists.
and
The
like especially when you
diva,
think the divas, you give us looks.
the
That's
fashion
something that like
moments.
Gaga has such a good understanding of like the
Yes,
visual.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And Cardi B does as well. When
Yeah.
I saw the Money video, I literally teared up when I saw the Money video because I was
She
like,
gives you visuals.
"This is what it's." I remember like literally yelling at the TV and be like, "Bitch, this is how you're supposed to do it. This is how you're supposed to do it." With like the visuals were
You
insane.
know the thing is like all of these people for the most part that we've listed, like they understand that this is show
It's
business.
a
You
show.
have to give a
Yes.
show. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they they understand like there's this understanding of like, to entertain people.
Hmm.
But I feel like sometimes with artists, they like want to play it too cool.
Yeah, I agree. And this is going to be a hot take. Even though she's so fucking talented, I feel that way with her, the artist her.
Mm,
Like, I think she plays it safe on her albums. Like her last album, the Grammy nominations dropped, and I was like, girl, you did not this is gonna sound shady. It was not an 8 nominations album at all.
do you think like they give her those nominations though because it's like, oh, her like she plays instruments and it's like she's like a serious artist?
Absolutely. I think the Grammy has their favorite artists,
Yeah. Oh,
especially when it
she's
comes
an awards favorite.
yes, especially when it comes to black artists. If you become a favorite as a black artist, oh, you're in there.
Yeah.
Like Beyonce is a fave, but she is like tucked into the urban categories.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why she like sweeps. Same thing with Rihanna, right?
Yeah.
Her is one of those artists. Hopefully Jasmine Sullivan can start being a favorite. But her has so much potential. Like her live performances are so good. They're like an experience. The
Yeah.
same way like if you were to go see Prince or Whitney, it's just
Right.
an experience.
Yeah. Well, she
She has
studies.
that. She
She
studies,
studies. So
but it gets lost in translation in her albums. It doesn't translate through her albums. This last album was boring. I was
I
like,
haven't listened
girl,
to it yet. So
girl. I mean, listen to it, see for yourself.
yeah, yeah.
But it was just like vibe music. And I was
Mm,
like, I don't want vibe from you. You could play 8 different instruments. I want to hear guitar riffs and crazy drumming and like give me the musicianship that
right.
everybody else is lacking at this
Mm-hmm.
point. That's what makes you unique, And I
Mm-hmm.
think so many artists are afraid to be unique, unlike the 10 that
The
we
10.
previously was talking about. Because we talk about all the like the top 10, none of them sound the same.
Yeah.
Drake doesn't sound like Beyonce, Adele, Rihanna.
Mm-hmm.
None of them sound the same.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
You know who we forgot, and I don't even know where you would categorize him. But what do you think like about like where does a Justin Bieber fall in this conversation? I think because I'm so tripped up because he's not he's younger than the 10.
He
But at the same
is.
time, he was kind of like coming out when social media was starting.
Right.
Because like that's his whole thing. Like,
Mm,
oh, like Usher found him on
right.
YouTube, and that, he really
I
rode the wave of the internet and social media, all of
right.
that. So
I would say he doesn't feel like a traditional artist to me,
mm,
because when I think traditional artist, I think of the whole package. When we think of somebody like a Beyonce, Adele, Rihanna, Drake, they're coming out with a album, amazing, memorable visuals, um, possibly, you know, fashion moments as well. They give us an album era, they're gone. I don't, there's like, if you ask me, what is a Justin Bieber video that just pops to your head that is iconic?
yeah, I don't know.
I,
But then again, I'm
I,
like, I don't know if it's because I'm not like, I'm old. So I don't
I
know.
mean, but even then, like, there is certain artists that we can talk about now, like Cardi B. Name a video from Cardi B. We could sit here and probably name
Yeah.
certain visuals from Cardi B. Chloe and Halle, same thing. Justin Bieber just, it doesn't click. And not to say that he doesn't have good visuals, he probably does, but something iconic, that's the thing too that separates the 10. They have at least three things that are iconic, like downright iconic about them. I just don't feel like Justin Bieber has that icon factor.
I
I think
think
he's a big influence though.
I think when he first started out, like that whole like baby era, like
Yeah,
with the swoop.
right.
But I think but I think the thing with Justin, he's an interesting case because like he was so young and
Yeah,
kind of had a difficult time navigating
right,
the music industry. I think maybe he was kind of set out in position to be like more traditional, but
right.
he just kind of just got worn down by fame, and now he just like
I could see that.
kind of goes with
He
whatever
definitely
Justin wants to do, sort of
goes with the
thing.
flow.
Yeah.
Um, but also he never had a specific sound, right? Like
Yeah.
when I
I don't
say
it's just so hard for me to think because like I just don't really engage with I don't really know Justin
got
Bieber
you,
that well. But,
I felt
obviously he is popular.
he's super popular. I feel like when we look back at this time, you know how like we look back at the '90s and there's artists that were extremely popular, but we don't consider them icons.
Yeah.
Like, not this, I'm not saying that he is this artist, but kind of like a Milli Vanilli or like a
A Billy Vanilli.
no, but like Milli Vanilli, they were insanely popular until the
Yeah,
scandal,
right.
but we don't consider them icon because of the scandal. But
Yeah.
or like a MC Hammer or something,
Okay.
right? MC
Okay.
Hammer, wildly popular. He's not considered an icon like Prince and Janet. He holds a place special to that era. I think Justin Bieber holds a place special in that era that he came out, like the Baby era, and maybe a couple albums after that.
Yeah.
But he's not what I think Cardi B. He's not at Cardi B level or a Beyonce
Mm.
level,
Oh
even a
yeah,
Chloe
yeah,
and
yeah.
Halle level.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Justin Bieber fans, if they listen to this, they'll probably like feel very differently. I mean,
yeah.
that Purpose album though, I felt like was a moment for him.
Yeah, I mean, you can still have amazing albums.
Yeah.
Same thing with like, mm, I was about to say In Vogue. They're icons, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know
I'm
what
trying
you're
to think of
saying
a
though.
'90s artist, or like Tracy Chapman.
It's
She
so hard.
was,
It's so hard to categorize all of these artists because sometimes
I
they're
know,
just like
right?
uncategorizable.
Like a Tracy Chapman. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, okay. Let's move on. Okay, so I had here talking about the Spotify removing her shuffle button thing, but we already kind of talked about that.
yeah.
Um
At the beginning.
so let's talk about okay. Adele reportedly walked out of an interview. So, so I don't know if you're listening to this, if you heard about this scandal, but I'm going to read here from page 6. Okay, so Adele reportedly walked out on an Australian TV host who flew 10,000 miles to interview her as part of a $725,000 deal because he hadn't listened to her new album. Host Matt Doran flew from Sydney to London earlier this month to interview the Hello singer as part of a big money deal that included rights to Adele's Oprah interview special and 2-hour comeback concert. During the sit-down, Adele asked what the Weekend Sunrise host thought of her new album, 30, only for him to reportedly admit, "I haven't listened to it yet." Offended, Adele walked out on the interview and her label, Sony, refused to allow Seven to use it, the paper said. But the real story here is that actually she didn't really walk out on the interview. The interview was supposed to be 20 minutes, and then she actually gave him 29 minutes. And he said that the reason why he hadn't listened to the album wasn't because he just didn't want to. It was because when like the label emailed it to him, he didn't know that. I don't even think he realized that he got sent the album. Like he just thought it was like a random card link. So that was just like an oversight on his part. But he says like just like really positive things about Adele. Like he said, Adele was hilarious, engaging, generous, honest, and profound. And I'm devastated that her fans are being denied this interview because, you know, he didn't listen to the album. They're not going to give him the rights to air the interview that he did with her. And it sucks for the Australian market because now they don't have any like interview from Adele. But good thing for YouTube. So that's the story there. Let me see. Okay, the last point I have here for Spill the Technicolor Tea is about her An Audience With special. Did you watch it, Angie?
No, not yet.
Oh my god.
I've seen tons of clips though.
Okay.
But no, I haven't seen it in full yet.
Okay, so from someone who used their VPN to watch it, I will say I personally preferred her An Audience With over the one she did here.
Oh, it looks way more lit.
It just felt more, that Audience With felt more Adele than the one she did here. Like the one here is like just giving visuals, you know, Hollywood sign, LA sky, great, you know, Spice Girls, Adele projection, amazing
in the background.
But in terms of like the quality of the special, I would say that the An Audience With was just, I don't know, just felt more her. You saw more of her personality. And have you ever seen an Audience With before?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
this was new.
Hold on. The American is going to American-splain a British thing. Okay, I'm gonna American-splain a British thing. So basically, An Audience With is like a concert special where the artist will perform, but then they take like questions from the audience, and like most of the audience is filled with like celebrities and like man, the celebrity level of this audience was just like, it
was insane.
I was more emotionally invested in the celebrities in this audience than the one in America, and I'm American. Okay, they had Emma Thompson, Emma Watson, Jodie Comer, Idris Elba, Alan Carr,
Daniel Kaluuya?
Daniel Kaluuya was there. Mel B from the Spice Girls was there. She has, oh my god, okay, I have some tea on Mel B in this special, by the way. Who else? I'm trying to think. Randomly Samuel L. Jackson was there.
That's right. Yeah.
Super random.
No, Denzel wasn't there. Samuel L. Jackson,
Graham Norton was there, obviously, a huge host in the UK.
I love Graham Norton.
Yeah, by the way. Like there were just Saran, I think her name is Saran Jones. Wait, let me Google it really quick. Have you ever watched Dr. Foster?
Not yet. It is on the list.
Oh my god. Okay, Jodie Comer's in that, and
Oh,
Saran Jones plays Dr. Foster, and her and Jodie Comer were like a literal table away from each other. And I was like, wow, this is a Dr. Foster
wow.
reunion. Yeah, Jodie Comer's in it. Dr.
Okay.
Foster.
Yeah, no, my friend has been trying to get me to watch Dr. Foster
Season one's
for
better than season
years.
two. The season one
Okay.
finale of Dr. Foster, oh my, it's like so dramatic and soapy, but it's so good.
Okay. Okay.
But anywho, okay, so that's who was in the audience. And so I have tea on like what you didn't see.
Okay.
Okay. So songs were obviously performed in a different order.
Mhm.
They went longer than the 90-minute special that aired. They did not show when she performed When We Were Young, unfortunately. But you know what they did get in the UK? She opened with Hometown Glory. So
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Okay. Also, celeb questions were cut. Naomi Campbell, her question was cut. I don't know why. I don't know what she asked, but unfortunately didn't make it. Graham Norton's question, I believe, was cut. Don't know what he asked. And when Mel B, her question was cut. Now, this is going to be, if you guys like aren't familiar with Mel B's personality, she has this very just says it how it is, like she doesn't
Yeah.
really, but that's like part of the reason why, if you are a fan of Mel B, you love her, because she just
Right.
blurts it out. So my impression is that these questions are pre-planned and they're given, questions to ask the artist.
Yeah.
Well, Mel B didn't like the question that she was given, apparently. So she freestyled hers.
Oh my gosh.
And she asked, "What was the strangest gift you have ever received, Adele?" I don't know what Adele answered, but this made Mel B respond with this: the strangest gift, or a gift that she has received that was strange, was a vibrator.
And why didn't they keep that in? That's funny.
Thank you at Super TV 247 for the scoop. Yeah.
Oh my
Apparently when
gosh.
she told, I don't know if like she tried to make it a joke, but apparently like I don't know what the atmosphere was like, but I've heard that people, it was like awkward. People were just like, like they just didn't really know how to respond to that. Okay, and then there's another moment with Mel B. So in the special, Emma Thompson asked Adele like about her like real life inspiration, and that's what prompts this
Yes.
whole like teacher reunion thing, which is
Teacher.
so much better than the wedding proposal we got here.
Oh yeah.
So much better. Anywho, so Mel B tried to shut Emma Thompson up because she kept going on and on making Adele talk about her teacher, and Mel B stood up and shouted, "One question each, Emma." Thank you at Super TV 247.
Mel B was just reckless in there.
I mean, that's why we love her. I feel like if you can like read that in so many different ways and like picture that in so many different ways in your head, I think she was like joking. Like if you're a Spice Girls fan, Jerry has a tendency to kind of like ramble, and Mel B will be that person that's like, Jerry,
right,
wrap it up. So I think that's kind of what like Mel B was probably doing with Emma. Yeah. Mel B was just causing a ruckus in that an audience with like, it's like actually picking up headlines, like whoever like tweeted about this. And I think there was like, I don't know, there's those, again, Spice Girls stan that I follow that has his own radio show, and he was talking to some people who were like in the audience, and they were sharing all of these tidbits. And I don't know if like major publications in the UK got wind of this, but now it's like being printed like everywhere. It's like Adele's face and Mel B's face, like Mel B was blah blah blah, like cut from the show, like that sort of thing. So yeah, that's kind of the controversy, right? Yeah, controversy, air quotes, right now with that.
Air quotes, yeah, big air quotes.
Yeah, but she made her presence known.
Headlines.
Let's make the headlines. Okay. But yeah, do you have any other Spill the Technicolor tea moments that you wanted to share?
Um, no.
No, I'm
You
tired.
and no. You got all of them.
I got it.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up something, but I don't think it deserves attention.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Let's move on then. So, Angie, I have a bit of a surprise for you. It's a
Oh,
surprise segment. It's called Where My Background Singers.
oh, oh Lord.
Exit, minimize the
Uh,
internet tab right now.
okay.
Honor system, honor system.
So,
So if you guys
all right.
listened to the holiday episodes that we did last year, the Diva Discography holiday episodes, you will know that we have this segment called Where My Background Singers. Patty LaBelle, which is basically Diva Daily's version of Guess the Lyric. Finish the lyric. Angie has been talking so much about how she is such a fan of Adele's pen game. And what I will do is I will give you, we're going to play 3 rounds where I give you the lyrics and then you have to finish the rest. This is all based on the honor system. Don't be clickety clacketing away like Diego did last season. Diego, I could hear your, and so could
shout
Al.
Out to Diego.
Yeah, shout out to Diego. But Angie, what song do you think you know well enough to finish the lyric? Round 1. Give me a song.
I'm not even gonna front. I'm horrible with lyrics.
Yeah, it's okay. Me too. But I'm on the other end of this game. So
okay. Any Adele song?
No, the ones from this album.
From this album.
From 30.
Okay. And I've only listened to this a week. Okay. Let's go. Hold on.
Hold on. That's not the lyric that I'm okay. Okay.
You're gonna pick something.
Let's see here.
Nervous.
Okay, let's do opening verse. Opening verse.
Lord.
Okay. She says, "Oh, what have I done yet again? Have I not learned anything?" Finish the lyric, Angie. Where my background singers at?
Wait, say the line one more time.
She says, "Oh, what have I done yet again? Have I not learned anything?" That's a hard one.
Not
good luck.
Good luck. Yeah, is right. Cause what verse is this? Is this the first verse?
1.
First. Is it something to do with chaos?
Yeah, something to do with chaos.
Lord. Chaos is the last word, right?
Yeah.
I think that's all I know.
It's okay. She says, "I don't want to live in chaos. It's like a ride that I want to get off."
Like how?
I don't know how you would know that.
After a week.
After a week. Let's try again. Give me another song. You're 0 for 3 right now. Or 0 for 1.
I'm going to be 0 for 3 by the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go with
Can I Get It? Can I Get It right now?
I will mess up that because I don't listen to the... What about My Little Love?
Okay.
Let's see.
You're like, I want you to recite the voicemails. I want the conversation between Angelo and Adele Adkins. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is really funny. I'm looking at Genius's interpretation, and they have the voicemail here, and the way they transcribed it is, "Oi, I feel like you don't love me."
Oh my god.
Okay. Okay. See, because her choruses, they actually repeat.
Yeah.
Ooh. Let me see here. I would like you to recite her outro. Her voice memo.
The only thing I remember about the outro.
Oh no. Oh, you really want to go for it?
Oh, you're not gonna give it to me?
Okay. You know what? No, I'll give it to you. Okay. I would like the outro. Okay, so I will recite the beginning. She says, I'm having a bad day. I'm having a very anxious day. I feel very paranoid. I feel very stressed.
Okay.
That was my really bad British accent, by the way.
I don't know verbatim.
What does she talk about? There's something specific that she talks about.
Is she feels like she's lonely.
Oh, but there's something that comes in between that.
Her drinking.
Yeah. What is she specifically like? What about the drinking?
She needs to stop.
But she has something. She has something. Like when you drink a lot, you have a
hangover. She has a hangover.
Yeah.
And then she feels like she is lonely, but she's used to being alone.
Okay, Angie, I was gonna say that you're done. You got it. Okay, you got it.
Boom.
Okay, she says, I have a hangover, which never helps, but I feel like today is the first day since I left him that I feel lonely. And I never feel alone. And I never feel lonely. I love being on my own.
That accent is
I know. I'm so good. Whoa, Jodie Comer, watch out. I know. Man, watch out. The Killing Eve reboot. Yeah, so I'll give that to you. Okay. One out of two. One more.
Okay. I'm gonna try my luck with all night parking.
Okay. You're like, I'm gonna try my luck with all night parking because I have that tab open right now.
No.
Okay.
No, because that's the R&B joint, and I could possibly figure out the next lyric.
Okay. I'm trying to. Okay, let's just do opening verse 1. She says, I know you've got things to do. The background. I do too. I just want to spend all my time with you. Background. It feels so good. Next, go. Where my background singer's at. Angie, finish the lyric.
Wait, say it one more time. One more time.
She says, I know you've got things to do. I do too. I just want to spend all my time with you. It feels so good.
Is that the part where that hard part, the long part?
Yeah.
Isn't it like it's so hard to believe? It's so hard. Am I singing the wrong? I'm singing the wrong section.
No, you're not singing any section, but you have so hard there.
So you're actually not doing anything right now. It's so hard. That's all I know. I know the melody like the back of my hand.
Yeah, the melody. Yeah.
I know that.
Okay, she says, I'm so hard to impress. Don't leave me on this stretch alone.
I'm so hard to impress.
When I'm out at a party and I'm just excited to get home and dream about you. Boom, 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 boom. All night long.
Damn it. I would literally fail this game if it was like $1 million on the line.
Yeah, well, good thing we don't have that money here. So yeah.
I mean, at least I got one.
At least you got one. You got her voice memo at the end.
Boom.
Okay. Let's move on to show me the receipts. This is the part of the podcast where we talk about stats. So what's interesting about the stats right now is, as of right now, the time of recording this, November 24, 2021, Wednesday, all of these stats can grow and change. Mm-hmm. They're literally developing as we speak. So what are the receipts findings that you've found so far?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't look at the receipts because, like, the only thing that I heard is she pushed almost 500,000 physical sales in the first week.
In 3 days.
3 days?
Okay, so I'll read the stats. It here says 30 is the top selling album in the US after 3 days. It captured the biggest week of 2021 for any album in the US, surpassing the debut of Drake's Certified Lover Boy. In its first 3 days, it moved over 575,000 units in the US.
Like physicals?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. That's for the TikTok. That's what happens when you don't make TikTok music. I'm gonna go over to the UK charts for a sec here. It says
be crazy over there.
Based on midweek data published by the official charts company, 30 is outselling the rest of the top 40 combined.
Ooh, physical. I'm assuming.
And this includes artists, music released from artists like Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Bruno Mars, and the ABBA reunion.
The ABBA reunion.
And it's on track to being number 1, but by the time this episode comes out, we'll know because it's going to come out next week. But
right.
Yeah, at the time of recording this, the official UK singles and albums charts are published late Friday, and it hasn't even been a week yet since this album's been out. So
I mean that's freaking amazing. We knew she was gonna
people are hungry for Adele.
Big physical sales, but that's the thing. She is getting physical sales.
Yeah.
Drake is not really pushing physicals. If Beyonce drops an album tomorrow, she's not going to push physicals like Adele. There is something about Adele that makes people want to buy the physicals. Like, she just got it.
And then let's move over to the reviews. So they're mostly positive from most of the major musical publications. Pitchfork gave it an 8.2 and said this is Adele's most ambitious work to date. And Rolling Stone said this is Adele's best album yet. Mic drop. Boom. We're gonna have that conversation on another episode.
But I was about to say 8.2 from Pitchfork.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems fair. That seems fair.
I'm just saying, like, because most of these music, publications, they tend to be very.
Listen, they'll be like
snobby and stringent with their positive, comments. But yeah, across the board, at least with critics, this seems to be really well received. Let's move on to impact and closing thoughts. Okay, so Angie, because it's still so new at the time of recording this, we can't really talk about the legacy of 30 because it's been less than a week. But how do you think 30 fits into the rest of Adele's discography? This is not a ranking conversation. We're going to do that some other day, some other time. But as of right now, how do you think 30 fits into the rest of her discography?
Perfectly. It sounds like an Adele record, while it sounds like she was also experimenting. So I think it fits perfectly into the Adele canon. Yeah,
me too. It's like, it fits perfectly, but you could tell that she's kind of like expanding her sound a bit. And lyrically, and I think that just it speaks to the fact that this is how she is as a person. It's more mature.
Right.
And more self-aware.
Exactly. I can't wait for 35.
Oh my gosh. Do you think okay, so what do you think is the next number, 35?
I think it's gonna be 35.
Not like a random number, like not like 37.
Whatever it is, I'm excited about it because the number of the album, the year, it's exactly my age. So 25 came out when I was 25. 21 came out when I was 20. Even though Adele is older than me by 2 years. Yeah. She'll like write them at the time of the age.
Yeah. How old is Adele?
I think she's like 33.
Oh, she's 33.
Yeah.
Her birthday is May 5th, 1988.
She's a Taurus? Taurus gang. I'm a Taurus too.
Oh, isn't Janet a Taurus?
Yes, I think. Yeah, Janet's definitely a Taurus.
Wow, look at that. Diva horoscopes.
Okay, Taurus gang. Up in here. But yeah, I think it's gonna be 35.
35?
Yeah, because by that point, she's gonna have a teenager.
Oh my god. Oh, wow.
Yes. We're gonna see about her love life. So she's probably gonna be writing about the kid. For sure.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I could see 35. Like, I don't know, like, do you think she's just gonna be like increments of 5 for the rest of time? Like, we'll get a 40 and then a 45 and then a 50 and then a
Well, she did say, she joked in the interview, she was like, it might be in another 8 years. I was like, don't pull a Sade now.
Oh my god, 38?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I feel like she's definitely gonna do another one in her 30s before she does one in her 40s.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, imagine 39.
Oh, yes. But can you
No,
imagine?
not good. If she waits until 30 into 39, that's a long wait.
Yes, but she'll be seasoned.
Yeah, true.
She'll be seasoned.
There's a part of me that wants her to like not necessarily like come out with a a new song now or a new album now, but like when she said that she can't wait to make more music, especially after talking about late night parking.
Yeah. Well, maybe 34.
33. Like 33 and a half.
But could you imagine like 43 or 47? Like that is going to be something insane.
Yeah.
Musically.
It's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have nothing else to add to this conversation because I feel like we have Adele out for quite some time. This might actually have to be split into 2 videos.
I didn't think we were gonna do a 2.
I don't even know how long this is right now.
3 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah, I don't even think my internet is going to take like a very long time to upload that entire video, so I'm gonna have to probably split it. But I hope listeners you have enjoyed listening to this episode of Diva Dailies. If you want to watch the full conversation, because I'm cutting quite a bit out, go on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, in my humble opinion. If it's not there, it will be on the Diva Dailies YouTube channel for the full conversation, unedited in all of its glory. But Angie, where can the people find you if they want to follow you online?
On Twitter at Poetry Soul 3 and on YouTube, Sleepy Nerd Productions.
There we go. And if you want to follow me, I'm at INN_MHO on Twitter and Instagram, and also on YouTube, in my humble opinion. Adele, you did that, girl.
You did.
Good job. And with that being said, remember, divas, boom, we're done. Lord, we did it.
Yes,
we did it.
That was a lot longer than I thought.
Yeah, me too.